everyone, Theo here. For the next 2 days I'm going over mountain passes, running from storms, dealing with spring snow, and looking to see if elk are in a valley meadow that's challenging to access. Alright, so we're headed out. Got 5 miles to go until we get to the pass that I want to go over, and then we should be able to see a meadow on the far side across this big drainage, and hopefully there's elk over there. One mile in, 4 to go, 20 minutes in. See Kaiser Pass Road coming up. Carrying up here. I want to check out Gold Basin at some point, but I don't have time for it this adventure. So we're at about 10,000 feet right now, and the pass I'm going to be going over is going to be between 11 and 12. So we're going to have quite a bit of game before we get there, but already I'm seeing this much snow. Water's a great sign because I only have a liter on me. And so being able to fill up maybe before I go over the pass will be really good. In a lot of dry areas, there's thunderstorms in the afternoons, and so of course I don't want to be somewhere exposed while that could be happening. So as I get closer to the pass, I'm going to be looking out for incoming weather. Well, here we are. Just made it to Geyser Pass Trailhead. Probably the thing that most of you know this for is the whole enchilada, mountain biking. This area is famous for biking. Alright. The wind is certainly picking up. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's ripping through the trees right now. Here you can see a great example of south-facing slope versus north-facing slope. So it's pretty likely, you can see a little slide path just barely, but it's pretty likely I'll be heading up and it'll be super chill, and then down on the other side might be a little glissading down, but should make the way down a little easier. Snow should be nice and soft with how warm it is today. there's the trail, and there's where I'm going. Once I get to the top over there, I'll be able to see what the other side looks like, and we'll see if there's post holing, which I reckon there might be, and we'll see if this meadow that I saw on the maps looks as good as it did on the maps in person. Partway up the climb, been about 2,000 feet of elevation gain, and wind's coming in from this way, weather's getting pushed in from that way also, so I'm just watching as our dark clouds move by. But we've got a ways to go until I'm at the top still. That's where we gotta go. And down there is where we came from. There's where we're going. Running from that. I want to get set up before it comes through. Woo! Okay, this really gets you going pretty fast. Well, that was exciting, and I'm going to put the camera away. Well, you can see my trail down. It's got a little too flat here to keep going, but it's a whole lot easier with two hands. Not one trying to film and the other one trying to slow you down. First sign of elk scat. So, we might be looking like we're in the right spot. down. Seems like the weather's not directional this way, which is excellent. Now I just need to find an ideal protected spot for my tarp tonight. Looks like as good a spot as any, and the weather's moving in, so time for me to get set up. Got a calorie bar that I made a couple months ago. It's been in the freezer for a while, but it's got so many calories. I originally made it for a winter trip because of how much fat is in this. It doesn't freeze, and so you can eat it while on the go, which is not the case for a lot of store-bought bars. Oats, almond flour, butter, coconut oil, and then kind of like once you get there, you can add whatever you want. I have craisins in here. I have some chocolate in here, hence the color. Found some more elk scat. Looks old for sure, and doesn't look like that big of an elk also. Elk scat's elk scat. So seems like we're hopefully in the right area. Now this is what we're looking for. More fresh, still very small scat. Might even be a deer. Post holing is absolutely vicious. I'm starting to get a little dehydrated as well. Well, this is exactly the kind of place that I'm looking for. You can see that there's a couple trails further out. I don't know if they'll show up on the camera. And where I was earlier, and a lot of around here, there's lots of scat, and it's deeply side hill. There's basically like terraces. You can look up photos of places in Peru and New Zealand with a lot of grazers or a lot of sheep, and they stamp out these hills to have little steps in earlier. And you can see it a little bit further on in this whole meadow. I'm realizing now that it might be easier to come up from down there. So far there hasn't been any water down in this drainage yet. And if there's not water down here, there's plenty of snow, so it'd be better to get to camp. I realize I only have my wind jacket on me too, so if it starts raining, then I'll get a little bit wet. Seems like a really promising spot that's definitely harder to get to. Well, it started raining. You can see that more is coming in. That's the kind of weather that I didn't want to be up there and something like that's coming through. Hopefully I can get back before it really starts opening up. Well, my tripod fell out of my pocket. I hope it wasn't too far back. But I also noticed this tree all scratched up. Didn't notice it on the way down. Found it right down there. I just have to go back down this thing, which is kind of not ideal. Well, I've just had snow melting on here. I put some in here just so I could get a drink of water. Well, some rain's finally started to come in, along with some wind. So I might have to drop the tarp shelter. I need to get some snow on the fire, but I'm gonna finish eating first. And I'm right next to it, so I'm watching it. All right, good morning. I slept all right last night. It was definitely pretty windy for a while. Probably didn't end up falling asleep until 11 or so. So quilt is out, drying a little bit. You can see a little bit of condensation, wet spot right there where it was touching the tarp. I'm gonna get a fire going and melting some more water because I'm pretty much out of water again. This is Was. Kilo's over there. This is that meadow that I've went and looked at, and it looks really ideal, but obviously can't see anything hanging out in there right now, so I don't know if you can see him.